Okay guys, this is the paper 2 revision session for the November Resit 2021-22, and that will be the non-fiction and transactional writing. We're looking at articles and speeches, etc., and just sort of making sure that you know what to do. So paper 2 has got two texts. The first text will have questions 1, 2 and 3, some basic comprehension question and a language and structure question as always. Then you will be faced with questions 4, 5 and 6 on the second text. Make sure you've read both of those texts nice and carefully. Both of those will have some basic comprehension for 3 marks and a 15-mark evaluate question or a language and structure question. Then you'll compare. You'll compare both texts for 20 marks and a writing section where you'll produce maybe a letter, a speech, an article, a review, something along those lines for 40 marks. So please be aware that at the end of the paper, there are 60 marks sitting there. So make sure you don't get bogged down with question 3 or question 6. Keep moving because it is easier to score the marks at the end of the paper this time. So looking at a text that most of you will have seen in class, but it doesn't really matter. Basically, when you read text 1, you make sure you read it right from the very top. You probably want to read it more than once for sure, because you just need to make sure you understand what's in it. Read all of it right the way down and just ask yourself, how do the people in it feel? What's the point in it? What are they trying to show you? And maybe if there's 5 or 6 quotes, you can identify a few things in the text. We looked at things like stewing around or a strange, queer, tight little twitchy feeling around the inside, all this sort of thing. You pull out your quotes and just try to explain what is the point. Is someone anxious or worried, happy, sad? What's the point? That is basically what the language and structure question is going to ask you. But what you'll find is that in the first couple of lines from questions 1 and 2, you'll probably find a lot of the things that are in there will help you in question 3. So you'll use some short quotes there. You'll potentially be talking about these in analyze how the writer uses language and structure to interest and engage the reader. Please bear in mind, we are looking at how does it interest and engage the reader? What is the point in it? What are they trying to show you? What are they feeling? 5 or 6 quotes, keep writing and just explain it. Just tell me what's in it. What are they trying to do? What are they trying to make you feel? What are they trying to put across? And what good words or phrases might show it? And do not forget your structure point. Compare the start versus the end, or some long sentences, an exclamation mark. Does it change between how we felt at the beginning to the end? Things like that. Those are structural points, but obviously your similes, your metaphors, but just good words, just as always, can always help you. Then you'll be looking at text 2. And again, text 2, make sure you read from the top, read all the way down, and probably read it more than once, just to understand what's in it. You're doing exactly the same thing. How do the people in it feel? Or what are they trying to show you? What's the point? Like, what 5 or 6 quotes show it? You're explaining it. So big changes in the relationship or practical questions you need to ask. They're looking to give you some advice in this particular one. So are they trying to show you the anxiety, the worry, the advice? Are they persuading you of something? What is the point? And you'll find that is reflected in questions 4 and 5. And I would like you, if possible, probably to use them. Those should pop up in question 6. So as we looked at the short quotes that you go in there, you'll probably be able to put into this question. It's a 15 marker. Again, we need a couple of pages worth of writing. Make sure you're answering the question. Look out carefully. What does the question ask? 5 or 6 quotes. Explain what the point is. Try and evaluate. So we're using words like successfully or how well it works. And make sure you're doing that. Now this is where the money kicks in, where the marks are really, that you should be picking up really easily. So I would look for 6 marks out of 6 in this section. It's 7A. Make sure you're reading the question carefully, but you'll notice it says the 2 texts show how pregnancy can change relationships. What's similarities? So we're looking at similarities. We're going to get a set of 3 sets of bullet points. Each bullet point has a particular similarity, whether it's worry, physical changes, and then you both get quotes. So we're doing 3 similarities. We're making sure it's in bullet points. We're putting those quotes in from each text. So text 1 says this, text 2 says that, and then you move on. That should be 6 points. Now those answers there, you're probably going to be able to use them in here as well. Okay, so this is compare. So this is similarities and differences, how the writers of text 1 and 2 present ideas and perspectives. Look out for what they're actually specifically asking for in the question. Maybe you can use what you wrote in question 3 and in question 6. That will always help you. Just summarize them. Basically, what we've looked at in the past is just tell me what you know about text 1, summarize it, and then tell me what you know about text 2. Is it the same or is it different? So text 1, it's personal, it's emotional, it's informal, it's potentially a little bit funny, it shows him being nervous, he's trying to reassure his wife and he's apologizing. Text 2 is maybe a bit different. It's more formal, it's more serious, it's got a serious tone to it, it's trying to give advice. So think about what the differences are. Think about these particular categories. Are the audiences different? Are they aimed at the same people or different? What's the style? Is it the same? Is it different? Is it in the same sort of tone? Is it just generally everything that you said in question 3? Is it the same in question 6? What's the purpose? What are the ideas? And most importantly, can you tell me something about the tone? Is the tone of one different to the tone of the other? Keep that up, write as much as possible, and obviously make sure that you put your quotes in. You're looking at formality, language. Is it negative or positive? Is it informal, casual, conversational, funny? What are the ideas? What are they trying to show you? And is it first person? Is it written from a personal point of view, or is it written to give you advice in a detached sort of way? What sort of thing? So think of those in terms of flip. Formality, language, ideas, and perspective. We've looked at that in class a little bit potentially as well. Don't worry if you can't remember anything. Just try and write about it. Then you'll get into section B. This is worth 40 marks. Maybe a speech, maybe a magazine article, all that sort of thing. But you are always writing to persuade. We've done some stuff in school, in college about smoking. So think about how you engage your audience. Let me tell you something you already know. Smoking kills. Or let me tell you a little secret. Or congratulations, you're a smoker. You've got yellow fingers, the lung capacity of a 5-year-old, and you're skint. But you look pretty cool. So try and get under the skin of people. Well done, my smug little friend. You make me want to smoke even more. Just take a look at yourself. So I smoke. Get over it. Do I judge you because you drink too much wine, eat burgers, and shop at Primark? Whatever. Now, these opinions have got nothing to do with my opinion. They are absolutely fabricated. That's exactly it. You can just make things up as well. Just try and argue and persuade me. Start with rhetorical questions. Can you imagine? Did you know? Did you know that us smokers make the government £8 billion in taxes each year? Yes, us. You need us. So try and put statistics in there that can help you. 90% of smokers say that whinging about smoking makes them smoke more. So these are, I've just made them up off the top of my head. You can use them. So without cigarettes, I wouldn't have 5 minutes of peace, 5 minutes of me time, 5 minutes away from the madness. Try and just let me hear your voice in what you say. Make sure that when you're writing, you put your paragraphs in, write in full sentences, use your full stops, proofread your answer. Once you've got to the end, read back through it. Write lots. Try and give me an introduction and a conclusion if it needs a title. If it's a letter, could you say, "Dear Sir"? So think about the way that it's supposed to be set out. Let me hear your voice as if you were talking to me and trying to persuade me of your point of view. Just don't be boring. Say interesting things that maybe provoke a response and just keep writing. So remember how many marks are at the back of the exam. Use other answers to help you through each question. Questions 4 and 5 will help you in question 6. Question 6 will help you in question 7. Try and snowball your answers so that you're using the thing as it goes along. And just keep writing. Keep reading it, making sure you understand it, and just keep writing. Good luck, folks.